So in the previous class we are discussing about the types of failures. So all the types of cracks you may observe in case of flexible pavement, that may be the alligator cracks or the block cracks, transverse and longitudinal cracks because of the wheel load, whatever the cracks we are observing, and some of the failures like patches and potholes, and what all the remedial measures you are taking to rectify those failures. So in the continuation with that, we are having some more cracks on the pavement. So let us discuss in detail regarding the different types of the cracks you may observe in case of the flexible pavements. So another important type of the crack you may observe, so that is edge cracking or the shoulder drop. So as the name indicates, so edge cracking is nothing but what? So whatever the shoulder width you have provided on the pavement surface, so because of the heavy vegetation on these shoulders and because of the poor construction material or improper maintaining of the thickness at the edge of the shoulders, you may observe this type of the cracking at the edges. So as the name indicates, that is edge cracking. So edge crackings we can observe along the side or the edges of the pavement. So it may be, we can observe within 1 or 2 feet of distance from the carriageway. Clear? So and what is the main reason? So it may be causes because of what? Poor drainage condition and because of the vegetation. So means you can observe, so at the side of the roads we can observe that the maximum vegetation has been developed. So because of that, so it may observe the water during the rainy season, or there is a improper drainage. So because of that, it may leads to the edge cracking. Clear? So because of the heavy vegetation along the pavement edge, so then because of the heavy traffic, so then there may be a shoulder drop we can observe in case of the flexible pavement. So and how we can rectify this type of problem? So means we can avoid the edge cracking by improving the or by removing the vegetation that has been developed along the sides of the road, and by providing the proper drainage system we can avoid this type of the cracks along the sides of the road. You can observe here there are different figures are there here. It may explaining you how what do you mean by the shoulder drop and the edge cracking. So first and second figure, which is indicating the edge cracking. So you can observe whatever the crack you are observing on the pavement, so which is running along the edge of the shoulder. So why? Because so in order to whenever we are laying the pavement materials, so we are not maintaining the adequate thickness throughout the entire width of the pavement. So it may be the variation of the thickness, or it may be the pure material if you are used on the edge surface, that may be at the shoulders. It may leads to the formation of the edge cracks. And you can observe in this figure, so there is a shoulder drop. So because of as I told you, so the shoulder, what is the use of the shoulders? We are providing the shoulders in a pavement, so in order to stop the vehicles when there is any repair works or at any accidental condition. So in order to stop the vehicles we are using the shoulders. We cannot stop at the carriageway. So in such condition also, because of the heavy load, so there may be the dropping of the shoulder. So this is also the one of the most important the defect you may observe in the flexible pavement. So what is the remedial measure? You have to remove this vegetation and provide the proper thickness of the different courses used at the shoulder area. So this is regarding edge crack and the shoulder drop. So the next type of general type of the cracks that may observe in the pavement, that is slippage cracks. So as the name indicates, so whenever the vehicles are moving on the pavement surface, so if there is no proper bonding between the adjacent layer, or if there is binder, whatever the binder we are used, that is bituminous as a binder. So if maximum quantity of the binder if you are used in the mixture, or there is no proper binding between the materials, so in that condition we are observing the slippage cracks. That is by sudden application of the brake or sudden accelerating of the vehicle, so you may observe the jerking effect. Because of that you may observe the slippage crack. As the name indicates, so slippage cracks, it is also known as horseshoe shaped cracks, or wearing or tearing of the wheel surface, we can observe this type of the cracks. Actually what happens in this type of, whenever the formation of this cracks, so that leads to the, there is a asphalt may fall on the new materials, that maybe asphalt has been slipped over a underlaying courses, so then it is produces the slippage crack. And the main causes, as I told you, it is because of the lack of bonding materials and because of sudden application of the brake or the accelerating of the vehicles, you may observe this type of the cracks in the road surface. Usually the maximum this type of the cracks are, we can see where there is a intersection of the roads. So because we have to reduce the speed of the vehicles at the intersection, so thereby there is a sudden application of the brakes we may observe. So because of that there may be a slippage cracks we can observe at the intersection of the roads. Most commonly these cracks are visible at the intersection, you can observe here. So because of the improper bonding, so whenever the brake has been applied here, so there may be the slipping of the asphalt material. So whatever the surface asphalt layer is there, the poor bonding, because of the poor bonding, so and whenever there is a sudden application of the brake, there may be a slipping of the top surface. So thereby it leads to the undulations or uneven surface on the pavement, so that leads to the it should not provide the smooth movement of the vehicle. So therefore, so the slippage crack is also one of the important failure that has been considered in case of the flexible pavement. So what are all the failures we are discussing here? All the failures are related to the flexible pavement itself. So we are having the different types of failures in case of the rigid pavement. So but still now what we are discussing the different defects, so that is related to the flexible pavement. So this is regarding the slippage crack and the edge cracks, so that may observe in case of flexible pavements. So and next type you can observe here, so because of weathering, so because of the adhesion between the asphalt as well as the bituminous layer, we may observe some of the defects in the road surface. So which type of defect you can observe in the second figure. So whatever the aggregates we have used on the road surface, so these aggregates are breaking up into the fine materials, that is small pieces, which will create the small patches over the pavement surface through the entire length of the pavement. So because of the breaking down of the whatever the aggregates we have used, so it may create the small patches over the entire length of the pavement. So why? Because this may be caused because of the adhesion, that is improper adhesion between asphalt as well as the aggregate. So and it may causes because whenever you are constructed the road surface during the wet weather condition, and also for improper coating of the aggregate and bitumen, you may observe this type of the failure. So weathering and raveling means what? The deformation starts with the breaking up of the aggregates into the small pieces, which may leads to the patches over the surface of the road surface. So if this is continuous, so means there is the large formation of the uneven surface. Rough surface has been formed because of the continuous breaking of the aggregates that may leads to the rough surface of the pavement, so which is not so good for the movement of the vehicles. And one more reason for improper binder and improper gradation of the aggregate. So as I told you, gradation means, so you have to select the different sizes of the aggregate, so based on the Rutherford graph. So means how much sizes of A sizes of aggregate and B category, C category. So means sizes of aggregates has been decided based on the gradation. So if only the smaller sizes of the aggregates have been used because of improper gradation, so then also we can expect this type of failure in case of the flexible pavement. And overheating of the binder as well as bituminous mix. So as we know that this is what the bituminous pavement. So because of overheating of the binder is nothing but bitumen, so you may expect this type of the failure. So that is weathering. And the raveling is nothing but what? So it is a formation of the, or it may be the breaking down of the aggregate into the small pieces, which may leads to the patches over the entire length of the pavement. So this is one of the major defect that has been considered in case of the flexible pavement. Yes, are you following? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So next, one more the important type of the failure that you may observe in case of the flexible, that is rutting. So what do you mean by this rutting? So the rutting is nothing but what? It is a longitudinal deformation. So just try to concentrate here. Longitudinal deformation or depression of the pavement surface along the wheel path. So means vehicles, if it is a moving vehicle is moving on the road surface, so because of wheel load, so there is a longitudinal depression of the road surface because of the continuous wheel load. So whatever the road surface is there, it has been depressed or deformed. So that is what rutting. Rutting is a longitudinal deformation or a depression of the pavement surface along the wheel path because of heavy loads. Clear? So this is creates this depression will makes other side of the wheel to undergo uplift. So you can observe in the figure. So because of the wheel load, so the rutting has been formed. So it may create the defects in the movement of the vehicles over here, because one of the wheel of the vehicle is uplifted and another wheel is at the depression. So it will not provide the smooth movement of the vehicle. So what is the cause of this? Because of the heavy moving vehicle. You can observe in the both first and second figure. So there is a small depression you may observe in case of this type of the failure. So because of this, there is an undulations has been formed on the road surface. That is what the rutting. And it may be caused because of the, it may be caused in the subgrade also and the different pavement layer also. If it is defects in the subgrade and the pavement layer, so if it is not able to carry the maximum wheel load, so in that condition also we can observe this type of the failures. So that is it caused by the insufficient pavement thickness. So if the pavement thickness is less than that of the required, so then we can expect this type of the failure. And lack of compaction. So means before allowing the road surface to receive the traffic, the compaction is required. So if it is a lack of compaction of the asphalt layer, or it may be the base courses, or it may be the subgrade, so then it leads to the rutting. And also the moisture infiltration. So because of the infiltration of water, because of the improper drainage condition, we can observe the ruttings on the road surface. And how we are going to rectify this, that is what is the maintenance method we are using. So if minor stages of the ruttings are there means, so we can fill the depressions by overlaying the asphalt layer, or if the ruttings are, that is more sizes, that is maximum depression is there means, we have to remove the entire surface and you have to replace it by the suitable new material. So means if the ruttings are having the small undulation, so we can directly fill the asphalt. So if the ruttings are having the maximum depression, so then entire whatever the pavement materials over that particular area, you have to replace it by the new material. So that is what the remedial measure you have to take in order to avoid in order to rectify the problems that has been caused because of the rutting. So you can observe in the figure, you can understand what you mean by the rutting. The main cause of this is the wheel load. So whatever the depression which has been caused along the length of the road, along the wheel path, because of the heavy moving vehicle, we can observe this type of the failures. So and next is corrugation. You can easily differentiate by seeing the figure for rutting as well as the corrugation. So in case of rutting, whatever the undulations we are having, it is along the length of the pavement, that is along the wheel load. But here, so whatever the undulations we are observing, so that is transverse direction. So it is not along the length of the wheel load. The undulations we are observing in the transverse direction, so that is opposite to the rutting, we are observing the undulation. So this is also the undulations, but it is occurring along the width of the road, so not length of the road. So whatever the undulations we are observing, you can observe in the second figure. So that is along the width of the road we are observing the undulations here. The only difference of rutting and corrugation is the direction of stress undulations. So in rutting, it has been along the direction of the road, that is along the path of the wheel load, but in case of this, it is transverse to the wheel load. So what do you mean by the corrugation? So it is a transverse undulations appears at regular interval because of unstable surface course. So means it is caused because of the surface. So if it is unstable surface course, so then we can observe this type of the failure, or this type of the distress we can observe in the flexible pavement. Or if this road area, if it is allowed for the parking or the stopping of the vehicles for the maximum time, that is if the traffic is allowed to stop over this area, so then also we can expect this type of the failure in case of the flexible pavement. And some of the causes we can see, this is caused because of excess of binder content. So this is also caused because of the excess of binder content, and also use of binders with a low viscous material. So means if the viscosity of the binder is less, then also we can expect this type of the failure. And using of smooth texture or round gravel aggregate, the smooth aggregate or the round or a gravel sizes of the aggregate, so if we are used at the surface, so then also we can expect this type of the failure. So these are all the some of the cause that may leads to the formation of the corrugation. So this is how we are going to rectify the undulations or a corrugation by the different methods, and these are all the causes of formation of the corrugation. So you can easily differentiate what do you mean by the rutting. This is longitudinal depression, that is depression, and corrugation means it is transverse depression. So the causes are almost similar, using of excess of binder content, or it may be the high viscous binder content, using of the smooth textured aggregate. It may leads to the formation of this type of the failures. So and one more type of failure, it is also considered as a failure itself, the bleeding of the surface of the road. You can observe and you can easily define what you mean by the bleeding by seeing the figure itself. If you are using the excess of the binder is nothing but bituminous. If you are using the bituminous content is more, so then it may creates, or whatever the excess of bitumen is there, it may be expelled out from the surface, and it is forming the shiny surface, glass like surface, that is reflective surface has been formed because of the running out of the excess of the bituminous from the surface. That what we are calling it as a bleeding. The excess of bituminous binder occurring on the pavement surface causes the bleeding. So and whatever the surface is there, it may be tacky to touch, so means it is having sticky in nature. So tacky is nothing but it is sticky in nature. So and it is also provides the uncomfortable for the road users. So because of the sticky in nature, so there may be there should not be any smooth movement of vehicle. So therefore this is also considered as one of the most important failure in the flexible pavement. So usually we can observe this bleeding along the wheel paths where the vehicles or wheels of the vehicles are moving. So at that path only we are observing the bleeding here. So this is also the one of the most important failure that may observed in case of the flexible pavement. So and next one is frost having or swelling. So try to understand this by reading the name itself. So that is, swelling is nothing but what? So if there is a swelling in the subgrade, so there may be a upward moment of the formation. So formation is nothing but that is whatever the width of the carriageway is there. So because of the frost action or because of the moisture content, so ice under the pavement surface, what happens? So the upper surface of the road, it is upward bulging. So there is a formation of upward bulging in the pavement because of swelling of the subgrade. So means if there is any swelling in the subgrade also, subgrade is, we know that it is a last layer. So if there is any swelling because of the absorption of the water, or it may be the ice under the pavement, so there may be a upward movement of the entire width of the carriageway or the formation width. So formation width is nothing but it is the summation of carriage plus shoulders. So if you are observing, so this type of movement on the road surface, so then we are considering it as a frost and having of the pavement or the swelling of the flexible pavement. So it is a localized upward movement or the formation of the upward bulging in the pavement because of the swelling in the subgrade. And you can observe in this second figure, so there is a some flags has been attached here, which is indicating the warning for the frost and having patches. You can observe here at the sides of the road, they have provided the warning flanges, which indicates what? So whatever the road surface on this area, so which is subjected to the swelling or the frost action. So this is what the one of the common type of the failure that you may observe in case of the flexible pavement. So this is how we are having the different types of failures, that is surface failures in case of flexible pavement. So as I have explained you, so what is the main cause of the subgrade as well as the subbase failures, but along with that we are having the different types of the surface failures also. So what is the cause of that failures and what are all the remedial measures you are taking in order to overcome or in order to rectify the failures that may occur in the flexible pavement. So that we have discussed in details, that all related to the flexible pavement, failures in the flexible pavement. So you may obtain the question related to that, what is the causes, remedial measures and maintenance you have adopted for the flexible pavement. So like that you may get the questions. And now so we need to discuss so how you are going to maintain this, that is maintenance of the flexible pavement or the maintenance of the failures. So means, so whatever the road we have constructed, so that may be designed for some design like 10 years or 15 years of lifespan. So once if you have constructed the road, so then the proper maintenance is required, right? So in order to maintain the roads, so we have to adopt some the maintenance methods. So when we have to maintain, what are all the types of the maintenance is required, so that we need to discuss in detail regarding the maintenance of the road surface. So before going to start with what are all the types of maintenance we are applying, so let us have the discussion how we are maintaining the roads, that is time to time, that is how we are maintaining. So we are having the main three classification in the maintenance of the road. It may be routine maintenance, or it may be periodic maintenance, or special repair works. So means maintenance of the road has been broadly classified into the three categories. One is routine maintenance and periodic maintenance and special repair works. So routine maintenance means what? So this is a type of maintenance in which we are filling the potholes and patches, and surface maintenance, shoulders and cross slope. So all these parameters has been observed regularly, that is routine maintenance. So which is including the maintenance of the potholes, patches, shoulders and cross slopes of the road surface. So this is what the routine maintenance. And periodic maintenance means the maintenance because of the wearing and tearing of the road surface. So what are all the distress or the failures you may observe because of the continuous movement of the vehicles, that is what is the wearing action, tearing action. So what may be the defects you may observe on the road surface, so that maintenance you are doing periodically. Routine maintenance and periodic maintenance and special repair works. So special repair means, so if there is any widening of the roads are required, so because of the overturning moment at the junctions, so if there is any widening is required, so and in order to increase the thickness of the pavement, so that is what the overlay, design of overlay, we are calling it as design of overlay, that is strengthening of the pavement. So if that type of treatment if it is required, so then that type of maintenance we are doing special repair works, we are doing under the special repair works. So means the maintenance of the roads has been broadly classified into the three classification: periodic maintenance, routine maintenance and special repair works. So under the heading of these maintenance only, we are going to maintain the failures in the road surface. So let us discuss what are all the types of the maintenance of the maintenance of the pavement we are observing in case of the flexible pavement. So the first thing is bituminous surface treatment. You can observe in the figures. So where we can observe the defects, so that has been filled by applying the seal coat or chip seal, or it may be by the binder, tack coat. So the different bituminous emulsion, so that has been applied on the road surface. So in order to fill the cracks, or in order to whatever the failure that has been occurred, so in order to patch up that, we are using the bituminous surface treatment whenever we are having the cracks. So then only we can go for this bituminous surface treatment. So what it will make, actually it will provide the protection for the underlying pavement, and it also improve the skid resistance. The finished surface has been provided for the smooth movement of the vehicle by providing this bituminous surfacing. So that is one of the method that has been adopted, that is application of the bituminous surface treatment. By applying the prime coat, seal coat or the tack coat, we are filling the cracks that has been formed on the pavement surface. And again, the one more method, it is asphalt overlay. And what all the maintenance we are discussing, this is mainly based on the type of defects. So if we are having the hairy cracks on the road surface, we can go for the surface treatment. So if there is a undulations is more, so then we can replace the entire material by the new material. So it is mainly depends on the type of the defect that may observed on the road surface. So and one more treatment that we are applying, that is asphalt overlay. So means on the existing pavement we are providing the asphalt layer. So means asphalt overlay project will use the existing layer as a base. Above that we are providing the new asphalt pavement. So if there is a more undulations on the existing road surface, so then it has been finished with a smooth surface by providing the asphalt overlay. So asphalt overlay is a paving method of applying the new layer on the deteriorated surface. So if there is a maximum undulations are there, it cannot be treated with a surface treatment, so then we can move for the asphalt overlay. So and it may used to repair the ruttings. We have already discussed what you mean by the ruttings and potholes and large cracks, expansion of the joints. So then in order to avoid these, or in order to fill up this type of failure, we may go for the asphalt overlay. This is one of the maintenance method that has been used in case of flexible pavement. So and lastly, we are having the provision of some of the coats on the cracks. So because at the failure of the surface, we have discussed different types of the cracks, longitudinal cracks and alligator cracks, block cracks. So like that, so in order to maintain those cracks, we are applying some of the seal coat or a tack coat, that is bituminous emulsion on the surface. So that is what the treatment methods we are using, that is slurry seals and crack seals. So what it means, slurry seals or crack seals means, so these are all the homogeneous mixture of the emulsion of the bitumen. So means bitumen which is having the low viscosity, it is emulsion, and which is mixed with the well graded of fine aggregate, and mineral fillers are also there, that has been applied on the cracks which has been formed on the road surface. So usually this slurry seal is used to fill the existing pavement surface defects. So if there is any cracks, so in order to fill that, so this type of slurry seal we are using. and crack seal are used to fill the individual pavement crack. So means if in the individual pavement, so in order to fill the cracks we are using the crack seal. So it is almost similar, slurry seals as well as the crack seal. So these are all the treatment methods or the bituminous emulsion which is used to fill the cracks that may observed on the surface. And it is also used to prevent the entry of water. So means because of the percolation of the water in the cracks, so that may leads to the bulging of the subgrade. It may creates the upward movement of the carriageway. So in order to avoid all those circumstances, we are applying this slurry coat or a crack seals to prevent the entry of the water into the subgrade. And it is most commonly used to treat the longitudinal cracks, transverse cracks and deflection cracks and the block cracks. So this is how we are maintaining the roads with the different methods, that is routine maintenance, periodic maintenance and the special maintenance has been required for the pavement in order to provide the smooth movement of the vehicles throughout the entire lifespan of the road surface. You can observe in the figure. So there are different the treatment methods has been adopted. So here the slurry has been discharged here and sealed and unsealed surfaces has been provided, and in case of the cracks, alligator cracks or a map cracks, they are filling that cracks with some coats, that is slurry seal or a crack seal. You can observe here how they are filling the cracks with a different bituminous emulsion. So this is how we are adopting the different maintenance methods to provide the proper maintenance of the flexible pavement. So let us have the discussion regarding the failures in the rigid pavement in the next session. Yes, is it clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what the detailed discussion regarding the failures and maintenance in the flexible pavement. So let us continue the rigid pavement failures in the next session.